What is behind the success of top real estate agents and mortgage lenders? What tactics, strategies, and lessons learned have they used to break through and achieve elite status? Top performing real estate and mortgage lenders from across the country answer these questions and so much more right here on Real Talk with Homes for Heroes. So get ready because we are about to get real. Now here is your host of Real Talk with Homes for Heroes National Director, Abby Waltz.
Hey everyone, happy Wednesday to you. It's Abby here. I hope you are off to a wonderful day. Thank you all so much for joining our first episode of Real Talk with Homes for Heroes Revamped. I am so excited to be carrying on this Real Talk tradition of bringing you so many golden nugget knowledge bombs that my previous hosts, Seth, Jessica, and Bob Stanky, laid the groundwork for. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Abby Waltz. I'm the National Director here at Homes for Heroes. With this new revamped vibe here on Real Talk, I have the honor of being joined every week by some of the nation's top real estate agents and mortgage lenders, where they've agreed to give us a sneak peek behind the curtain into their incredible success strategies and stories. And as you can see, I do have a very special guest with me today for the show that I'm going to introduce in just a minute. But first, let me thank everybody who's watching and listening on Real Talk with Homes for Heroes on your favorite podcast directory or on YouTube. Real Talk is recorded in front of a live virtual audience, and we would love for you to join us in future episodes. You can do so through the link in the description of this episode. However, we do publish a recorded version every episode to Homes for Heroes YouTube channel, as well as all major podcast directories. So make sure that you're subscribing to those channels so that you don't miss any of our Real Talk with Homes for Heroes episodes we've got coming in the future. And to everybody who is here with us live in our virtual audience on Zoom, thank you so much for your time and joining us. We are extremely excited to have you be a part of this conversation today in the first revamped episode that we've got going. Just a couple of things for our live audience, for a couple of housekeeping things. We are going to have a Q&A with our special guest after we get through some of our questions later on. There are two sections that you have access to on the Zoom toolbar. The comment section is one, the Q&A section is another. Please feel free along the way to go ahead and share your love in the comments section if you want to, or chat amongst yourselves, but use that Q&A section for your questions. We've got people monitoring that, and they'll queue those up at the very end, and you'll be able to ask our very own guest the questions that you have. If you're like me, questions come in and go out. So please type in those questions as soon as they come into your head so that we can ask Jessica that towards the end of the show. So very special guest today, right? We've got Homes for Heroes real estate specialist Jessica Devore, all the way from Central Illinois. Welcome to the show, Jessica. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
So Jessica is a rock star of ours. She's had over 100 hero closings with Homes for Heroes alone. That doesn't even include her normal day-to-day business. She's been with us for 3.5 years now, and she has just grown her business, doubling it year over year to the point now where she's got a team that she works with to serve all of the wonderful heroes that she's got. So Jessica, welcome. I'll let you kind of introduce yourself and give us a little bit of background on who you are to start the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here and joining you all. And I wanted to start with a quote that I just recently saw from Steve Jobs. And it is, if you are working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. And when I saw this quote, I thought immediately of Homes for Heroes, because it's that vision that pulled me in right away. And I think, I get a lot of questions from people that want to join the Homes for Heroes program because they see what I'm doing and the success we've had with it. And it is not a lead generation system. I mean, that's what a lot of people ask me, like, well, how many leads do you get from, And that's never how I looked at it. And yes, I belong to lead generation system. I'm a Zillow Premier Agent. I'm a Dave Ramsey Endorsed Local Provider. Those are, programs that I do get leads from. But with this, I feel more as if I'm an ambassador for the program. So when I was given the territory, I took that very seriously. And I mean, let's face it, in our industry, it's very competitive. And it's always important to look for ways to set yourself apart, obviously. So, because there's a lot of agents out there. Why are they going to use you? What's your elevator speech, that sort of thing. But for me, when I was given that territory, and I was so excited because it was exclusive, it was mine, and I really felt that it was important that I made sure that I not only knew the hero locations in my territory, that I made a point to visit each and every hero location, introduce myself, bring a small gift. It didn't have to be much. Maybe I baked cookies that day. Maybe I, saw a special at, our warehouse club that I was able to pick up in bulk that I could distribute. But the point was that I needed to visit those locations so that they knew about the program, because it's my responsibility to let people know about Homes for Heroes in my area.
Yeah, so true. I love how you really hit the ground running when you first started, because you took on the program, and like you said, you were ambassador for it and you felt it was your responsibility. Do you think that's why you had so much success, because you just kind of took the reins and put it on?
I really feel that's what it is. I mean, as realtors, we're already getting out in the community, trying to do good things, trying to help people find homes, sell homes, move to the area. So it's already part of what we do. So I think it fits well in that. It's like, okay, but now I need to focus on those that are serving others in my community and make sure that I thank them. And that's why I love, what Homes for Heroes stands for, is the mission of thanking every hero. And when I heard that, I said, I'm immediately adopting that as well. Whenever I post anything, it's hashtag thank every hero. And, that's what it's all about. And so I think if you don't focus on how many leads does it get me, how much money am I going to make from each hero and that sort of thing, because I mean, if I looked at all we donated, I'd be like, oh, that's a lot of money. That's not the focus. It's like, how are we able to help people and just bring goodwill to the community and thank our heroes?
Well, obviously you're extremely passionate. I love that you've adopted our Thank Every Hero mission that we have here at Homes for Heroes. It's really at the heart of it. And I know you've used that, not just for your own philosophy, but to grow. Tell me a bit more about what that looks like on your team and within your office right now.
Absolutely. So, being the ambassador and getting the word out, we immediately got the big check. If you don't have one, you need to get one of those, because, the photo ops are really important. And with COVID, it's been more difficult because we haven't been allowed in the closings. That's our big moment to do our photos and give hugs all the way around and everything. I mean, obviously we're not doing that as much. I mean, some people still do hug me, but so I've had to be creative. I mean, I've taken the big check and put it out in the window of the title company and took a picture of it, but I had heroes that we didn't do a picture. I wasn't able to go to the closing, and they actually called me and said, can you come to our house and do that hero picture? We want a picture with the big check. Can you do it on our front porch? So, and that really shocked me, because I never really realized how important that was to people, that they become mini ambassadors as well, just through that, being out there with their pictures saying, yes, I'm a hero and this is what she does. So other people help me promote as well, just being excited.
That's awesome. Well, consistency is key, absolutely, for that one, in order to get that reputation and get that experience out there, for sure, for the heroes looking forward to that moment and joining you with the big check. So I think that's That's so cool. I want to take you back a little bit to the beginning because I know in conversations with you, you did some really cool stuff. You not only went into hero locations immediately to introduce them to the Homes for Heroes program, and we can kind of get into what you said in a minute because I know people always have questions like, how do you introduce this? How do you
Right.
explain the discount? And we don't actually touch on that at all when you usually go in there. So I'll get to that in a minute, but you did something really cool and it had to do with those, I think it was the teacher coloring sheets that you had. Tell me the story behind that and how that ended up working out for you.
Yeah, so I have that list of hero locations. It's not enough to just go once and say, hey, because people just aren't going to remember that in their busy day. I mean, you go into a firehouse, they're going to say, oh, okay, thank you for the cookie. Who was that again? Consistency is key, obviously. And they see you time and time again over time, and they realize, and then they make that connection right away when they see my name or they see me. And so I thought about how to do that with the schools and with the teachers. And actually, it started in the schools, but it ended up affecting every hero location in my community. So what I did, I love the affiliate toolbox. There's so many things in there, marketing wise and that sort of thing, that we can use to help with promotion. And if you haven't seen these are the hero coloring pages. And they're great. I mean, they feature every hero from teacher, there's police and fire together, military and that sort of thing. And I went to the local elementary school and I had a meeting with the principal. You probably want to set that up in advance because principals really don't like you just coming in unannounced. They're so busy all the time. So make that appointment in advance so they know you're coming. And then I brought these coloring sheets and I said, I don't know if this fits into, what you're doing this school year, but I would love to sponsor a coloring contest for the children. And she loved the idea. And so I brought these as master copies. She made copies of all the coloring sheets to give out to the entire school, 2nd grade through 5th grade. They distributed them in every class. They had the coloring contest, and there's also a space to write a letter to the hero and who it's from and what age they are. And every teacher did it in their classroom. They chose a winner in each classroom. From those pools of winners in each classroom, they chose a grade level winner. And then we were able to gift card those grade winners with Dairy Queen gift cards. And actually, this is really neat too. I have an insurance agent who I got into the program because, it's not just real estate agents or lenders. You can have your, insurance agencies, title companies, anybody be a hero location or a hero affiliate. So I had signed up this insurance company and he helped me distribute the cards and he paid for some of the gift cards as well. So I didn't have to do that all by myself and he got exposure as well. But the coolest thing about what we did was we took those pages after it was done and we left the teacher ones in that school. They hung them all over the wall for the teachers to see, for the students to see their work. And then we took the other ones, the firefighters, we hung them in the fire station, the police, we hung in the police department, the doctors and nurses we took and put in the hospital, and we encouraged the kids to go out to those hero locations to visit their coloring pages. And it also encouraged them to visit those hero locations so they knew this is your police station, these are your heroes, the police. And then the military ones, we found somewhere in the Middle East to send those that are deployed currently so they could benefit from those coloring pages as well.
That's so full circle, which is something that we're all about for sure. And what a great life lesson to teach kids as well at the same time. I mean, I'm sure the guys out there are like coloring sheets, like really, but about like the life lesson component and the heroes that you're able to give back to, and then going into a firehouse and providing a thank you from community children, like that just gives you incredible feels for sure. So
Yes, I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
I know the impact that you're able to make. I think as agents and even as loan officers, I know we've got some of them on the call right now. We overlook how big of an impact we can make in our communities. I mean, real estate for me is one of the three pillars that I look at when I'm judging the health of a community. It's actually schools, it's law enforcement, and it's real estate. And those three things give me insight into how well that community is doing and thriving, if they are or if they aren't. And to be able to pull all of that together and be that positive force throughout those top two, but then also the other hero areas, I think is really impactful and important in our industry to be able to make that positive impact in your local communities. It's not just buying and selling homes, you're making an impact, which is so cool. And you're clearly, you're knocking it out of the park for that one, for sure.
Thank you.
Oh gosh, there's so many questions I could ask you right now. Tell me a little bit. I know I personally am a strong believer in specializing and niche marketing, taking that rifle approach instead of a shotgun approach. And that's what Homes for Heroes, specializing in the hero community, is really all about. Did you have any reservations in the beginning of taking like your marketing from here down to really focusing on the hero groups, or no, not at all? You're shaking your head.
Absolutely not. No, I thought if this is an opportunity to thank those, I mean, there are boots on the ground. I mean, and look at now the healthcare and what they're going through. You know, I mean, I just shared on Facebook, it was such an emotional post from a nurse, and you could see the imprint of that protective gear. And, you know, she was just saying, this is real. We're going through this. Like, you know, people are saying that, you know, the virus isn't even real and all that, you know, and it's just like, look what they're doing every day. They're risking their lives. How could I have any reservation of thanking them or trying to help them in a way, or just that they know that, I mean, we couldn't live without them. You know, our security, our police, you know, when there's a fire, there was just a major fire in our town of an Assembly of God church, and their whole sanctuary burnt to the ground. And it was a 5-alarm fire. There was fire departments. I mean, there was like 14 different fire departments that responded to that call. And it took them 8 hours to get that fire out. And I mean, just to see those things, and it's just like, how could I not, knowing about the program, do it? I mean, I just don't understand why anybody wouldn't want to.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, definitely. They certainly deserve it. That's for sure. And I'm glad you didn't have any reservations. That's fantastic that you just kind of jumped all in and went, I mean, feet first into the deep end for sure, to make sure that you were serving them. Do you have hero connections that you kind of drew upon? Like, what drew you to us? So, I mean, that's a strong connection to be able to jump in and just want to take a program and run with it.
Well, I grew up, my mom only has one sibling, a brother, and my uncle. And my Uncle Kenny was a firefighter in New York City. I'm from New York originally, transplant to Central Illinois. That's why we're Green Acres Real Estate, because that is my life story. If anybody knows that show from the 60s with Ava Gabor, where, darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue. Yes, that is my life. It's real. And I do live in the cornfields now. But I grew up on Long Island, and my uncle was a New York City firefighter, and he was also a volunteer for the Long Island Fire Department as well. And it would just be in the background, that fire radio all the time on what was happening. And it wouldn't matter. I mean, it was Thanksgiving. We'd just sit down, turkey, whole feast, and he was out the door if that call came. And I'll just never forget that. He ended up passing away from lung cancer, never smoked. I mean, he gave his life to that. He dedicated his life to saving people. And so that impressed me at a young age, that it was about service to others and that sort of thing. So
yeah, definitely. we talk about Start With Why a lot, the book by Simon Sinek, and in it, he constantly reinforces the fact that our why is typically ingrained in us before we even get into high school. So it sounds like that was pretty self-explanatory for you, and that it made a huge impact in your life and what you wanted to do with it, whether you knew it then or not, right?
Absolutely, yes. And you look back and you think all these things happen, and it just leads you to that point.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you've been with us now for 3.5 years, believe it or not. Time flies when you're thanking heroes, having fun.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about why you feel you've been able to persist through because I know it's not all roses, right? There's challenges that come up and obstacles that we've got to come or overcome. How have you been able to just persist through that? And how have you been able to grow year over year? I mean, you're number 7 in the country for us for real estate specialists. I mean, that's a big deal. We've got almost 3,400 people a part of our program. So to be number 7 and to see growth year over year, what's been the secret sauce that you've got?
I think the biggest secret is to not focus on the amount of money that you're going to make doing this, because it's sometimes a very thankless job. And, I will have a closing and you think things are done, but then they call you, they have water in their basement. Who can we have come out? My fridge is not working. Right now, this time of year, my air conditioner is not working. We're sweating, we're dying, our food's spoiled, and you don't just hang up the phone. I'm done, we already closed, why are you calling me, No, it's a commitment that you just make to the people in your community to say, hey, I'm here for whatever you need. Here's the number of the plumber, or we got home warranty, thank goodness, so here's the number you need to call. And I think all my clients know they can call me whenever. And I have people sending me, because they know I'm just behind them all the way. They'll send me pictures of home improvements and things that they're doing to the house. And, it's just the coolest thing when you focus on the people and who you've helped and how it's impacted their life. I'm so cheesy, like Christmas time, when I drive past those homes that I've sold and there's that tree in the window and I know they're celebrating with their family. And it's like, I was a small part of that. It's about leaving a legacy, quite honestly. And Homes for Heroes has helped me do that.
Wow, that's a statement right there. Like, just let that simmer and marinate and soak in a little bit, to have a profession that helps you leave a legacy. Like, that's an interesting way of looking at your job.
Yeah, and now with this pandemic, we know how life is so fragile, right? Tomorrow's never promised. So what are you doing today that is going to make a difference? You always hear it, the hearse is not going to pull the U-Haul, it's not about accumulating stuff, at the end of the day, I'm sure there's going to just be a lot of people that stand up and say, she helped me, she changed my life in this way. Even if it's just a small, that's what's important to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the times that we're in right now, because I'm sure people are, we're all just starting to open up, if you will, through this pandemic that we've been experiencing. And you seem to be a lot very client oriented, but also very community oriented. So I'm sure you've had some challenges, but how have you been able to either serve heroes, or what have you been focused on this past, even within this past couple of last weeks or so?
Well, I always try to look for opportunities to serve the community, obviously, and the heroes and that sort of thing. But one thing, and it's not really hero related, but I think, it's just one of those goodwill community things. We obviously saw all our restaurants have to shut down, all, bars, restaurants, that sort of thing. And they were really struggling. We don't want to see them go away. We love our restaurants. We love places where we can socialize. And so I started a group in my community that is for the restaurants, and it was called DUCO Curbside Restaurants for Dewitt County. And so we were posting on there who has curbside delivery, who has, where, and it just grew into this big thing with a lot of followers, and all the restaurants, when I go around now, just thanking me for posting their menus and what specials of the day, and that sort of thing. So I think when you look for opportunities to help, they just present themselves. I mean, you don't have to look far, and I think we definitely did help keep them afloat, and now that they're doing parking lot seating and that sort of thing, but they're still in it, it's not over yet. And I mean, even the states that are opening up and thinking, wow, we might have to shut back down again. So it's like, changing moment by moment. So it's just looking for those opportunities where we can help in any way.
I love that. We talk about that a lot, obviously, at Homes for Heroes, opportunities to serve our heroes. But I think that's an important point, even for the people who aren't affiliated with Homes for Heroes, to kind of really grasp. Like, there's always an opportunity where you can reach down and help somebody else up, especially during challenging times that we see, or huge times of change and whatnot. I think that's really important for us as an industry to reach out, reach down, if you will, and help one another as best you can, whatever that might. So that's very cool. Now, you kind of committed to Homes for Heroes at the very start. You started engaging with us right away. You went all in. You adopted our motto. You grew your team on it. Did it surprise you how much going all in and just engaging ended up attracting more business and more like-minded professionals? And I mean, you even touched on it earlier with your coloring sheet initiative that you did. You have other people donating stuff to help, give these gifts to the schools and whatnot. Was that surprising for you at all, or did you expect that?
I think I love what you say about just attracting. So that's what it is. It's like, when you let your light shine and you say, I'm going to be the best version of myself, and I'm going to love on others and care about people, then other people that are also those caring individuals, those givers, you tend to attract those. And so then you just create this little tribe, so to speak, of, here we are to help everybody, and it's been wonderful. And obviously I'm just being authentically me. So there's no hidden motive about, well, I'm going to plot to one day be a team, and then I want this many agents to be with, it was never that, it was so organic. It just starts with you and your core values and doing you out in the community. And then other people just naturally say, hey, I like what she's doing. I want to do that too, and it's just so organic. And so now we are a team of 5, me and 4 other agents in the office. And that's actually my whole office. So we are all Homes for Heroes affiliates now. 2 of our preferred lenders are also Homes for Heroes affiliates now. And so it's just that thing that, 3.5 years of boots on the ground and that sort of thing. And now looking around and saying, wow, we grew this, it's planting those little seeds. And then all of a sudden the garden's full and there's bounty and everything and plenty for everyone.
Yeah, especially in this industry. Let's be honest, we can't help buy and sell all of the homes in our local area. We can't even do it for all of our heroes, mind you. It's just such a huge opportunity. But I love what you said about kind of playing to your strengths and finding what resonates with you so that you can get out there and be authentic. There's no way that you can commit to something and be consistent at something if it doesn't speak to you and who you are. And until you find what that is, whether it's a specific hero group, whether it's the Homes for Heroes program, or whether it's something like, giving back to animal shelters or whatever that purpose or bigger driver, bigger than what you do and who you are is. It's so hard to be successful without figuring out what that might be, right. And then owning it and living it every single day, which clearly we've given you the opportunity to do so by teaming up with you, which has just been just been incredible. So I've got one more story that I want you to share because I loved talking to you about it. You recently posted on Facebook, and yes, I stalk our people. Whatever. Everybody does it, okay? Just gonna own it. I see our people on Facebook. I have a group set up for all of our Homes for Heroes affiliates, so I love seeing what they're up to because you guys do such unique things to give back. And I saw you had this really cool, like, spinny wheel thing.
Yes.
Like Price is Right style. I don't know. Tell me
Yes.
more about that. What was that all about?
Well, that was the same thing that, there was so many opportunities when the pandemic started and everything started shutting down. And obviously, here in Illinois, our governor was, really quick to shut things down. The kids, March 20th, no more school, so it was very early on. And then learning from home and trying to Zoom with the teachers and we just saw the teachers struggling to try to adopt this new teaching method and model with, at the seat of their pants. And they did a great job for, what they were tasked to do. But we still obviously saw them struggling and said, how can we, make a difference or thank them or help them? You just put a smile even. So we came up with, and now that we're 5, we can reach a bigger area. So we serve several counties, and we were able to do a contest. And we said, nominate a teacher in your county, and each one of us kind of took a county to, navigate that contest and get those votes in. And so everybody in the different counties was able to vote for their favorite teacher. And depending on the number of votes, then they got that many entries into the contest. And how we chose the winner, we use, it's online, it's free, it's called Wheel of Names. And it looks exactly like the Wheel of Fortune wheel. And we plugged all the names in there. And obviously, if they got more votes, they got more spaces on that wheel. And we videoed the wheel as it went around and chose the winners. And then we posted on our Facebook page. So they were able to see in real time how they won it. And then, stopping on their name and that sort of thing. So it was pretty exciting. And then we were able to deliver gift cards. We did $25 gift cards to all the winners. And we gave away $500 in gift cards to various, Starbucks, Dairy Queen, all that sort of restaurants and different places. So, and I also feel like it helped those places too that were like, we can't have anybody in our facilities, but please buy a gift card, so it's like, you're always helping one way or the other, so.
Yeah, it's a win-win all around for sure. And what a great idea to do it, especially with everything we saw the teachers have to go through. Even, they kind of get forgotten a little bit in the summer months while they do in fact still work during the summer to build curriculums and plans and whatnot. So what a great way for them to kind of launch into summer, even though they were figuring out how to work from home as well and teach from home, which was a small feat, not only for teachers, but I know for parents as well. We all was real us.
Oh yeah. Well, and you'd be surprised how many heroes don't actually feel like they're heroes. Like they're like, who, me? I'm just a teacher. I'm not a hero. And it's like, yes, you are. You're teaching our kids. This is the future generation. And it's helping people see their value too. I even had a doctor tell me that. It's in the you have these opportunities. I'm in the doctors. So here I am telling the doctor about the Homes for Heroes program. Saying, you're a hero, and and he's like, no, I'm not a hero. And I'm like, what? You're a doctor, you help people that are sick, how do you not think you're a hero? So
huge
it's helping people up.
Yeah, helping people see their value is massive, and absolutely builds that rapport and relationship right away where they are loyal to you for life and just refer business like crazy to you.
Yeah, it reminds me of that saying, you say, people will forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. It's how we positively impact our clients' lives. It's not all about customers and building that pipeline with brand new people. It's taking care of the people that are presented and that are in front of us right now, and making
Yeah.
as big of an impact in their lives as we can so that they come back.
And that naturally builds your pipeline, because those people that you helped and loved on and cared about go, oh, you have to use her. I want you, I want you to experience the level of care and support that she provides, and it's just a natural thing. And so then that's another opportunity to thank those people that, thank you for telling your friends and family and stuff like, and it's not really, you don't have to do the ask very much, because your actions are what is encouraging them to want to support you.
Which, how great is that, not having to ask for the order constantly,
Right.
sell, and just make it all about the other people. Did you see your referrals kind of uptick a little bit once you joined us and started getting some of that consistency and momentum with closings?
Absolutely. Because you're talking about helping one hero in a location. Don't you think they're going to talk around the water cooler about their home buying experience? It's an experience. It's a journey. You're not just one day, you ring somebody up and hand them a shirt and they're out the door. I come from a retail background, so, it's totally different. We're on this journey with them sometimes for a year. They're searching and searching for the right home, or they're trying to get their home ready for the market, or, and then they keep apologizing that, I'm sorry, I'm taking your time up, or I'm sorry, this is taking so long. It's like, what? Don't even think about that. We're here in this together, we're doing this thing, it's just getting people to realize, don't worry about me. I'm fine. I love what I do. So you're blessing me by letting me help you.
Yeah, they're not all, hunky-dory, but a lot of the people that we end up attracting have that service mentality, right? Our heroes are all about serving the community and bettering the communities that they're in. Let's be honest, you don't become a teacher for the salary, right? You do it to impact the lives of children and to raise the future generations. Same with law enforcement, same with firefighters, same with even healthcare, right? And obviously military, that's just a no-brainer. So the clientele that we get to attract and that we get to represent and work with are so humble and so just, they don't want to disturb you. So I can get that a lot from your clients saying, I don't want to bug you or apologize.
Totally. I have to yell at them all the time. Stop that. You are not bugging me. This is what I love to do. So, and that puts them at ease, that makes, okay, I can text her if I have a thought at 8 o'clock, that she's going to not say, stop messaging me, so it's just building that rapport with everyone.
Yeah, definitely. And letting them know that, hey, I will turn my phone off when I
Right.
when I need to be home with my family or need to be doing other things. So text away
Absolutely.
and I'll respond to you as quickly as I can. So super smart. I love the teacher contest. You've been super teacher focused, but I know that's not the only hero group that you serve. Do you see that that's a large component of your clientele, or is it kind of evenly spread throughout all of your heroes?
So what we did was in December, we did some goal planning, and it was really fun because, we were 4 in December. So this is the first time we're kind of like, it started just 1 and then a second agent and then the third. So then we were 4 and I'm like, this is so cool. Let's get together in December, do our goal planning. Obviously, we didn't plan for what this year was going to hold, but
Nobody
we
did.
did. Yes, but we did have the opportunity to pick a hero group that we were going to focus on in that month. And we tried to align it with whatever was going on. There's a week for everyone, Nurses Week, Police Week, Fire Prevention Week. So we tried to look at the calendar, see when those special times of the year were going on. And then we chose a hero group to focus on for that month. So that made it easier because sometimes, there's a lot of heroes out there, and that's one great thing about the program. It's like, you're never going to run out of heroes, good luck trying,
No way. No way. And with all the national observances that we have for our hero groups, because of just how amazing they are, that's very easy to do and a very smart way to approach it so that you know, get a well-rounded group of who you're serving too. I mean,
Yes,
law
and that
enforcement,
nobody was left out. So
yeah,
that's what we wanted to make sure.
yeah. And it's fun to stop in and see them, not randomly, but with purpose, just because you can say, hey, it's fire prevention week. Just in case you didn't know, I'm sure you did. I just wanted to say thank you. I mean, that's a totally different approach of walking into a fire station or into a school to give thanks and show appreciation than, hey, here's my brochure. Here's what makes me different. I'm a community specialist, you know, going with a sale approach too. So
Yeah.
super, super smart.
Yeah,
All right.
because I mean, you know, you have to give people benefit of the doubt. They already are wondering, what is she doing? You know, like you don't really have to give too much information. You can just, you know, I mean, they realize, you know, I'm just here to support heroes. If you buy and sell a home, we're here for you, you know, and that, I mean, it's just, it doesn't have to go too much beyond that, and they can fill in all the rest of the blanks.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes this, like, as I remember, it's been a long time since I was a brand new agent, but I remember in the very beginning being so shy and so scared to even like cold call, to door knock, to network even. And I realized it was because I was just going for the sale, and the scariness came from the no or the slam door and all that kind of stuff. And with this, right, the door is wide open because you're not leading with a sale. They can't say no to, like, who's going to say no to saying thank you? Like,
Right.
right?
Right.
That's like
Yeah.
saying I love you and getting a thank you, but like, thank you. Like, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm going to let some questions roll in here. I know we've got a couple. Penny, I believe we answered yours, but I'm going to let those roll in. Are you up for doing a little quick Q&A?
Absolutely. Yes.
Nothing to be afraid of, I promise.
No.
All right, first question. What's one piece of advice that you would give a new agent?
So, I mean, I think we touched upon a lot of the things, you know, but if you really just lead with your heart and just focus on how many heroes that you can help, the rest will come naturally. And yes, you are going to have those difficult times, those difficult people. But when you meet them with kindness every step of the way, they really start to just kind of melt, and you know, the coldness kind of chips away a little bit. And you know, even if you don't feel it through the transaction, you've left them with a good impression of the program, of yourself as an agent. And you know, so you just have to keep reminding yourself, I think, of your purpose.
Very cool. Wise words, right? Make a positive impact in every area that you touch every single day, for sure. And then the lives that you touch. Okay, I love that. Once this whole COVID thing is done, right, and where travel opens up and we can go places, where are you wanting to head in the world if you could go anywhere?
You know, I'd really love to visit Australia. I've had this obsession with koalas. I love them. I just think they're adorable. And I visited the San Diego Zoo when I was a kid. Actually, my brother was in the military, in the Navy, and his boot camp graduation was in San Diego. So we all flew to California from New York, and it was my first time leaving New York. Why would I ever have to leave New York? We have everything there, but and it was really neat. So the zoo there is phenomenal. So I'd love to visit Australia. I just heard something that if we don't do something with all the fires that they've had and everything else, that koalas will be extinct by 2050, which is awful to think about. So yeah, save the koala.
They are so adorable.
Yes.
And Australia is supposed to be spectacular. So
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
pick. All right, my favorite question as we get those questions kind of coming in. What's your favorite room in your house and why?
Oh, wow. It's probably going to be the dining room. I love tablescape. It just makes me happy, especially like the stay at home and stuff like that. My table right now, I'll have to post on Facebook so everybody can see, but it's all lemons. I have lemon placemats and lemon. It's gone a little overboard that people are now buying me lemon stuff because they know like I've been, but it's just that sunshiny feeling of like, I'm home and I can't really go out anywhere. So, I'm going to decorate really nice. And then just those meals that we're able to have. I mean, we're obviously a busy family. My husband is also a real estate agent and he's a union carpenter. So just those times that we can gather around and have a meal. And that's been the one good thing about the pandemic is the kids were home, we were home more, we're not running to sports and that sort of thing as much. So I've been able to, do more meals at home and that sort of thing. So.
Very cool. I love that answer. And I'm going to have to check out your Facebook feed for that one. You are more than welcome to come decorate my table. It is fair. It's got seats. We've got placemats, but not it. So I can't wait to find inspiration from you and your tablescapes that you do.
Thank you.
Very cool. I'm only seeing a couple more questions. Like I said, we've answered quite a few of them in just the conversation, which naturally that's going to happen. But we've got a question quickly about your coloring pages. From an initiative standpoint, tell me kind of what went into it from, what am I wanting to say? From what you had to purchase and buy, all the things that you needed to get to make that well-rounded, and then overall budgeting wise, how much did that end up costing you?
I mean, it cost me these sheets of paper. I mean, that's it, let me see if I could get a side view of, that's it, there's like 10 coloring pages here to choose from. I mean, I was fortunate. I brought it to the school. The principal, she was super excited. She was passionate about it. So I really lucked out in that way because they made all the copies. They distributed everything to all the students. The teachers hosted the contests and all that. I mean, the only cost was buying the gift cards, and that I even pulled in, the insurance agent to offset that. And so that really worked out. I think I spent $100. I think that was it.
Rally people behind your cause. You just got to share the story and the vision that you have, and people really want to just get involved and help out for sure, right?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I love that. Drake wants to know, is there a book that you like to read and reread?
Oh my goodness, there are a lot of books that I love to read. Yeah, right now I am reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. That one I am rereading again because it's just such an eye-opener into how we approach money and investing and that sort of thing. And that I grew up in that middle class mentality that just work 9 to 5 and that's what's going to get you by. And we know that the world is ever changing and different from that model of the 50s and 60s, that was impressed upon us. So it's just evolving in that way. So I love to read.
Yeah, I'm such a bookworm, so I'm like, that is Rich Dad Poor Dad is one of my favorites for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So good answer. I've got one question from Sheila. What's your unique sales pitch or intro speech when you meet a hero? Role play with us here.
Oh goodness. Okay. Well, did you know that you're a hero? In what you do in every day? No, I had no idea I was a hero, so it's just that reminding people who they are and their value in the community. And then, from there, they just open up into sharing stories, and they know if you show an interest, that is the biggest thing. I think, as much as we want to say, I think being a good listener, there's so much value in that. Just to ask questions and then listen. And people want to be heard. They go to work and let's say they work in healthcare and they have patients and everybody wants something from them. When do they ever have an opportunity to say anything about themselves? They're worried about the charts and, you know, what is ailing their patients, and when are they ever getting that, you know, care or that amount of attention placed back on them? I don't think, you know, it's very often. So I think to seize that opportunity to really pay attention to people, really lean in.
All right, that's a phenomenal answer. So you're not even talking about Homes for Heroes at all.
No, no. Oh, and by the way, you're going to get a reward after you buy, you know, and that's just like a throw in after, like, oh, and be expecting a check in about a week. Oh, well, that's really nice, you know, and it just, you know, don't make it about the money. You know, it's not about them. I mean, to me, it's not, you know, I think the more you make it not about the money, the more people rally, you know.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Don't make it about, people will call it a discount, which just breaks my heart because that's not what it is. It's a thank you. You can call it a reward if you want to, but to call it a discount gets you associated with a whole nother mindset for sure. And to lead with that for sure, that's not what it's all about. Are you ever explaining the program when you go in to do like your school initiatives, or if you are to pop by a fire department just to say thank you for Fire Prevention Week, or are you just showing up and saying thank you, and then if it's an initiative, here's what I'd like to do, how can we work together to accomplish this?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the showing up, the delivering things, the thanking heroes, you know, you leave a brochure behind. If they're curious, they're going to search it out, you know, and that's what I was saying about giving people the benefit of the doubt. You know, you don't have to say a million things for them to understand, because I don't know if you've ever noticed though, when you try to explain yourself in detail, people start to glaze over. They're like, you know, it's like you lose them because they just, you know, if they want the information, they're going to seek it. You know, just leaving it there is enough. Just drop off, leave those brochures, leave that information. And, you know, the one thing that I do say is every time a hero buys or sells a home, I donate 30% of my commission and they get a reward. I donate my commission, you know, so, and so I don't talk about it as a discount. I talk about it as a donation, because, you know, that's what I feel that it is. I'm donating to the cause, which is their cause. Their cause is to be, you know, a firefighter, to be a police officer. They have a cause. They already have, that's their mission. So what we're doing is we're coming up alongside them and saying, I love your mission and I am donating to that cause.
I love that. I love that approach. It's so counterintuitive to people and what we're preached to do in this industry and coached to do in this industry, that I love the soft takeaway and just showing up and showing and expressing your gratitude, as Drake's saying in the chat. It's so unique. I love it. All right, I think that's all we've got for now. If you're listening to the recorded, please feel free to type in your other questions too. We'll do our best to get those answered for sure. But Jessica, holy smoke, thank you for bearing with me on this first revamped episode. I know it's episode 53, but my goodness, it was our first one. So I really appreciate you taking the time to share your wisdom and your knowledge and what's made you so successful. I know you are one of our top 10s, number 7, right? And you did that on your own before you even had your team, which I think is just outstanding. I can't wait to see all that you guys accomplish together with your new plans and with more people getting out there to serve and thank heroes. But thank you so much for your time, Jessica. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's an absolute honor. I thank you for all your love and support as well. I mean, you just make it such a pleasure to be a part of the program and support us on the ground. And we just love what we do, and we're very thankful.
Yeah, you are more than welcome. Anything I can do to help you, for sure, fulfilling our Thank Every Hero mission together that we share. Well,
Absolutely.
Thank you again to everyone tuning into this episode of Real Talk with Homes for Heroes. Make sure you tune into next week's. I'll be joined by another top producer, real estate specialist, Ryan Moberly out of Colorado Springs. And again, if you'd like to attend any of our live virtual audience to join the conversation and have your questions answered by Ryan or any of our guests that we have on here, you can sign up through the link that's in the description and also in the comments if you're on with us live as well. Make sure that you also subscribe to Homes for Heroes on YouTube on our channel, and subscribe to Real Talk with Homes for Heroes on your favorite podcast directory so you don't miss one of our future episodes. Thank you again, Jessica, so much for sharing.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much.
Yep. Thank you, everyone, for joining us as well. We look forward to seeing you guys next week. Take care.